up. You boy, that's some stuff. My crypto is legit. Yeah, boy, it's the shit. Remember when you said it was a pyramid scheme? Now I'm on the moon and on TV. Remember when you said it was a Ponzi scheme? I see you on the street in my Lamborghini. My crypto is up. Yeah, boy, that's the stuff. My crypto is legit. Yeah, it's the shit. My crypto is up.
All right, I don't know who that bard is, but I love him, and I found him this morning. He's got like 600 followers. He's kick-ass. So make sure I posted his video on X. Make sure you like it. All right, guys, we got a lot going on today. I say that every time. It's true, though. I'm going to skip the bookmarks because I didn't do a good job doing them. I want to thank everybody for the additional 1,000 followers yesterday alone, let alone another couple hundred or something overnight. Really appreciate you guys. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We got a lot going on. So SBIT's weird right now. SharpLink Gaming had a drop yesterday, and we had high volumes, peak volumes, highest volumes we've ever seen in the company. The interesting nuance to it is that the peak volumes were on the drop, and the tick up in price going all the way back up to here again is on low volumes. So it looks like, again, even though a pretty strong washout yesterday, and these guys talking about massive dilution, could change in the market open. We could see this roll over again. Currently up 1.62% in pre-market. It seems like people are getting excited about Ethereum, guys. It really does. And again, with people like Tom Lee pushing it, I said that a while ago, right? I'm like, you got Tom Lee representing things, and it's going to get really, really interesting. Yeah, good morning, Victor. I'm from Spain. Good morning, Bella's, Dada, Pandu, Sergeant Squid, Victor, Travis, Tim, Dennis, Manuel, Kay, all the original OGs here, all the people that were number 2 or number 1 and number 3 for getting here this morning and getting me to start early. Good morning to all you. Super Rich said, how would you DCA into growth? I'm investing $500 a week in the market. I'm just buying 50% ETF and 50% Tesla. Do you have any advice? I don't give financial advice. This is strictly for fun. I am a high school dropout who is sitting in his basement right now, and who retired about, how many years has it been now? Has it been 5? Fuck. It's been over 5 years off of investing, and Bitcoin, Tesla, and just all this stuff has really changed my life, and it's been awesome. But I don't give financial advice. But I will say this. I think right now is the time to be aggressive with Tesla, and it's the time to be aggressive with Ethereum-related Ethereum-related treasuries and Solana treasuries and Bitcoin treasuries. Personally, I get aggressive early in the cycle, and I think, again, we still have 1/3 of the profits at least to be made. Historically, that's what happens. We get a big, the big spike up on the last part of the cycle, the last like 3 to 4 months. We get 30% of our gains. So I would be aggressive still. I would not be doing IBIT. I will transition into IBIT once I get a little worried about Bitcoin price and Ethereum price and overly irrational exuberance. But there's some stuff I wanted to show you guys. I think this is super important to look at on the Ethereum chart, right? So we have to pay attention to the fact that Ethereum has not performed at all. And what do I mean by that? Our current price is 158% higher than the peak of 2018, just the beginning of 2018. And then last cycle was over here at 4,700, and we're actually still underneath that. And with the narrative behind, Arbitrum and Robinhood and tokenization, and then again, we had I was going to say the big, beautiful bill. We had the Genius Act, the Clarity Act pass yesterday. They're going to get signed by the president today. And so you have stable coins, you have tokenization becoming the forefront. And really, Ethereum hasn't even had an altcoin market this cycle at all, right? So I'm going to make the argument that with Tom Lee backing it and pushing so hard and changing his profile picture to a fucking penguin, we're probably going to see some very strong price action. In fact, if we look over here, we see the strongest up thrust over the shortest period of time, really from what we're seeing right now, more so than over here, if you count the number of weeks. It's more like this stuff, right? And so like key breakout stuff, probably the equivalent of like what we saw down here in December of 2020. Maybe a little bit. Maybe we'll call it here. Just really good upside potential sitting in front of us right now. And I think it's a narrative that this happens all the time in every cycle. There's just things that catch people off guard. Everybody was shitting on Ethereum. Even XRP, guys. XRP's like up 45 fucking % in a week. Absolute trash. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter on the way up. Everybody buys everything. And I feel like that's what we're seeing right now. So I think Ethereum is going to do really well. We could still get a drop in SBET. We could get that because, again, the dilution is going to be heavy. These guys are buying aggressively. I actually think it hasn't updated yet, but I'm pretty sure SharpLink is back in number 1. You guys in chat tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it's already number 1 again. So even Tom Lee's BMNR, Bitmine Immersion company is fighting, neck and neck with SharpLink Gaming. And SharpLink is about 66% of the market cap of BMNR. So these are going to be, and I'm not going to pick one over the other, honestly. It doesn't matter much to me. Oh, wait, no, here it says 4.2 billion. So maybe SharpLink has gotten bigger than I remember here. Let me look over here. Let me just check. What is this? What are SharpLink Gaming? 2.35 billion market cap. I think that's USD. I'll figure out which one's right, whether it's the Treasury over here and it's operating at a 4x. If this is right, then this does make sense because this would be the time to issue when you're at 4x NAV. So maybe it is bigger. Maybe it's double the size. I will clarify. Or if you guys in chat want to do it, that makes my life easier. Let's see. Alex Garcia, SBET might drop, get bought up like yesterday. It could. Again, it actually had really powerful buy volume yesterday. So far this morning, we got BMNR up by 8.3%, and we've got SBET. It looks like it's down 0.22. So you could see rotation, especially if that market cap number is right. I'll have to figure that out. And then we've got Game up 12% on the day. We've got UPXI, that's a Solana Treasury, up 7% on the day. We have DFDV up 2%. We got SOLT, that's the 2X fund for Solana, up 6.5%. We've got the Smarter Web Company down in the UK market by 3.67, but looking bouncy and like it's ready to take off. Metaplanet was down 2.48%, or is down. I can't tell if that's from yesterday. In the Japanese market, it was down 1.19%, but I think that one's getting ready to consolidate and bounce too. CleanSpark's up 0.7, Mara's up 1%, Iron is up 1.66. It's looking pretty good. It looks like it's consolidating a little bit this morning, and who knows? People are crazy. You could see some kind of thing where we have a sell the news event because of the crypto regulation and the market structure and from everything passing. That could totally happen, but you don't want to sell into this. I might have to sell some because I need to put a down payment for my house. Luckily, this other one is a lot cheaper, so it'll be like closer to 275,000 instead of the 400 or whatever plus that I was looking at before. So it'll be a much better number than what I was looking at. But yeah, no, it's really exciting. Let's see, Alex, ETH BTC is up 4% today. Yeah, ETH is really, again, it's a juggernaut right now, guys. If we look at Crypto Bubble over here, you can see how ETH and XRP are running. Look at Doge up 12.4%. Solana's just kind of sitting back a little bit right now, but it's going to have its time. Definitely seeing the treasuries feeling good. And if you look in the bottom right corner over there, you'll see that actually Bitcoin looks like it's consolidating. It looks like it's getting ready to do it to the upside. I don't know if you can see the wick. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Yeah, there you go. That's better. So you can see how we have this little wick underneath here and how we look like we're going to try and break out. There you go. Now you can see it. Sometimes the viewing on the wicks is really hard in trading view when you're doing streaming. I don't know why that is. It must be some video processing thing. But again, we talked about this, right? We talked about how crypto and Bitcoin will start to outperform traditional markets. We also talked about how crypto, things like Ethereum, would outperform Bitcoin over the short term when Bitcoin starts to consolidate after a major breakout. This is like just normal parts of a cycle. This is just what happens. We just haven't seen altcoins really have their opportunity yet. And so I think you're going to see a lot of that. Galaxy is ripping. What's going on with Galaxy, David? Are they doing some buys of something? And all right, real quick, guys, I want to jump down. We're going to get to the news. Let's see what we have for economic data today, because we always like to keep track of that and see what's going on at 7:30. It looks like very little. We've just got building permits and housing starts. These are going to be interesting, so we'll take a look at them at 7:30. And then the rest of the data is at 9. I'm going to be out before that. I got hiking to do. I've got a house to buy. Just a lot of stuff going on today, so we'll be out before 9. But the Michigan data should be interesting. Sometimes these data, especially sentiment surveys and some of these, especially if it's like blue state stuff, they'll be really pessimistic and not reflect reality. So you kind of have to take them with a grain of salt. Let's look at Trueflation today and see where we're sitting, and then we'll look at fear and greed, getting a little bit of an uptick in inflation, getting closer to 2%. There is going to be some inflation that comes from tariffs. There just is. It's going to be small, though. I think that's the difference that people don't understand. I'm jumping over here to the fear and greed on the crypto market cap. Coin market cap, they might want to do some business with me, it sounds like. So if I do anything, I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. We'll see what they want to talk about. They've got like 6.4 million followers on X, and it looks like they are interested in my channel. So we'll see what it leads to. I only do things with companies I support and I use and I believe in. So if I do anything, it's going to be because I like their crypto fear and greed index. And I've been loyal to these guys since 2017 when I started using them to keep track of what was going on with the different cryptos. And if you look over here, it's actually, they do a pretty good job with a lot of this. They got a lot of different breakdowns. So this might be something I'm interested in. We'll see. So anyway, fear and greed index. If they promote the channel, right, that can't be bad. Fear and greed index, on the edge for the stock market of extreme fear. So this is something where, again, when you're getting up here and you're kind of rolling in this range, you might have a retrace at some point. I think it's smart to realize that. If we look over here, I'm just going to pull up the NASDAQ, and then I'll get over to chat in a second here too, and we'll start looking at some posts. Remember when I told you to buy down here and then buy here? Well, we're definitely getting extended, right? This is like one of the wickedest upticks in a very, very long time. And we've been up in the overbought territory. At least, well, what is this? This is the monthly. We don't want that. We want the daily. It's not as pretty to view up top, but it's better for this. We've been in the overbought territory in the daily for a while, right? Like really, we got there in May, and we've been hanging out here the whole time. Eventually, we're going to take a break. We could, though, like if you look over here, you can go into extreme greed multiple times, but just mathematically, the markets are going to take a break. What I'd love to see is what happens a lot of cycles where we have rotation from Bitcoin and crypto into like stocks again, and maybe tech stocks, and then maybe back out to Bitcoin and crypto, and maybe altcoins do well, and then Bitcoin does well, and then it goes back to the stocks. That's some beautiful price action that we would just love to see. What percentage are your SBET and BMNR? I've only started to add to Bitmine, so they're very different right now. I have like maybe 50,000 in BMNR right now, and I've probably got 800,000 or at least 750 in SBET. So they're very different numbers, but I will probably equal them out more over time here. And again, I used some of my SBET yesterday and bought a game. That's another one I started to delve into more. I don't know how much I have in that one. It's less than 200, I think. 200K. But I like the growth on it, and I like the ticker. It sounds funny. It's kind of a YOLO, but with a ticker of game, I think that as retarded as it sounds, that one could do pretty well if they just remotely try to grow their Ethereum base. So we'll see what happens with that one. But yeah, so I think that there's potential. It looks like SBET's still up 1% in pre-market. This is just a solid bounce, and don't get me wrong. Could we still go down and close this gap over here? Very possible. It's a pretty decent gap down to 29. If that happens, I'm probably just going to look towards other things to buy. But it might be hard for that to happen. It might be hard for SBET to do that in a world where Ethereum looks like it's pressing 3,700. And honestly, I could see Ethereum in very short order by this weekend hitting 4,000. So I think it's going to be really hard in that environment for some of these Ethereum treasuries to take too big of a dump. Because I mean, just again, how much have they went up? Let's say you have SharpLink. Let's say you're SharpLink Gaming and you've been in the game a little bit, right? So how much have you went up with your holdings? You've went up 156% since April 1st, which is a pretty good return. And if we get up here to the 4,000 range, you've done almost 200%. I've never said I don't like Bit Digital. I just haven't spent a lot of time on it. And I don't own it yet. I can't own everything, guys. I can't. And I can't spend time on everything. I just can't. Here's the thing. Here's some of the stuff I don't love. I don't love companies that have a lot of high overhead expenses. I don't know what Bit Digital looks like. Let's take a look real quick here. We'll at least do a preview of Bit Digital. Let's see here. Oh, I might have to sign in. Give me 1 second. Give me a second. We'll see what crescendo, Michael Howell. Going to have to read that one, huh? What does he mean by crescendo, brother? You think it's coming to an end? All right, let's see here. Let me pull this up. All right, got it pulled up. Let's take a look at Bit Digital here and look at the finances. Good morning, everyone. Good luck on the offer today, Jesse. Thank you. I mean, I'm basically giving them full asking, so it should be pretty good, I would think. Especially in a slow housing market. Bit Digital, 1.1 billion. All right, let's look at the funds here. Total cost per mined Bitcoin. So Bitcoin production has fallen off a cliff. Net income has gotten worse. Free cash flow has gotten worse. Mining hash rate is gone. Share dilution ramped up significantly from Q4 to Q1. Burning down cash position, but still got a decent amount, 57 million. It looks so. Here's what I get. Here's what I get from just looking at this and knowing a little bit about the Bitcoin mining space and crypto world. I feel like Bit Digital's Bitcoin, either strategically they were making this move or not, their Bitcoin business was dying. It was almost dead. They weren't putting a lot into it. It died. Massive retail. I don't love usually having a ton of retail because they're ones that if the price goes up, they're likely to sell. And what do we have for the market cap here? We have 1.1 billion. That's okay. How much do they own in the way of Ethereum? Let's take a look over here. We'll just do this real quick in real time. All right, so they have 100K. That's probably pretty comparable to these guys up here. If we're running 4.2 bill for the market cap, let me sort by market cap over here. Ethereum Foundation, 437 billion market cap. Again, because it's ETH. But the funny part is that both Bitmine and SharpLink now have more than they do, even though their cap is this large. Fascinating. Coinbase only has 104. This is always just interesting to me. So Bit Digital's down here. So it might work out all right with them doing this pivot. It might work out all right for them. But I don't know, man. It's going to be one of those things where, yeah, I use visual stocks with a Z and not a sock. It's not a sock. It's a stock, but thank you for typing it out. That's helpful, Manny. But yeah, it's a good site. I'll plug it in real quick here. This is my buddy Alejandro's. He's a good dude. He lives down in South America. And that's his website, and I like it. I like the visual references and just the quick and dirty of it. So this is probably the pivot that they needed to make. It's probably the pivot that this company needed to make. BMNR is probably still a better a better opportunity, in my opinion, than these guys, just based on the market cap alone. So it's probably a better opportunity. And honestly, I need to get more balance. I probably should think about that. That should be something I probably do today too, is get a little more balance between SBIT and BMNR, because I don't own enough BMNR. And when we look at amount of ETH held, and again, I think SharpLink has actually already passed BitMine today, so they're back in the lead. But when we compare market cap size, when we look at the Tom Lee effect, it's probably not a bad idea to own. Jesse, Gemini Knight says, Jesse, thank you so much for sharing my trade and helping me make almost 500,000 K in less than a month. I want to give you a big hug. Are you the one that was telling me about SharpLink Gaming? Are you? I can't remember, man. I want to give credit where credit was due. I think we looked at it on this show in real time, kind of like we're doing with Bit Digital right now. So, yeah, if that's the case, dude, congrats. And $500,000 is kick-ass, dude. I hope you and your family benefit greatly from it. That's awesome. Yeah, let's keep going. I did tell you. Okay, cool. It was on here, right? Like we probably just pulled it up with other stuff. That's the great thing, guys. We crowdsource information here and we talk about what we're interested in. And I think probably in real time, I probably bought that. Let's see. We got news up. SBET's trending. Let's look at this. That's a weird. Okay. Let's keep going. So a bunch of, I don't know if that's why it's trending. Oh, yeah, here's the buy, too, guys. SBET to buy $5 billion more in ETH. So this is going to be some heavy dilution. That's 1.5 or 4 million ETH. It would take the Ethereum network 2.5 years to produce that much in new supply. Oh, what is it? Ultrasound money. This is probably a really good thing to look at. I haven't done this in a while. Let me see if I can find this. Does this site still exist? Oh, it does. Okay. I haven't done this in a while. All right, we're going to pull this over and put it in the Ethereum section for anybody who hasn't seen it. So this is interesting. So it shows what. So if you simulate proof of work up here, proof of work is the top one. You can see what the inflation rate was, and we're going to give this a longer time frame. We're going to go back to the burn and the merge for any of the OGs who know what this shit is. Let's go back even further here. Let's see. Do we have... Oh, no, they just go back to the burn and the merge. Okay. All right, that's fine. That's probably a good starting point anyway. So for you guys who don't know this is called ultrasound.money. This shows the path that Ethereum was headed down with the burn, or before they jumped off of proof of work. And there were two steps to that. They started to burn, where when the network becomes more active, they burn more of their Ethereum, which is kind of fucking awesome. It's kind of like rocket fuel. So they did that over here. They started that a little over 2 years ago, where it starts to reduce the new supply. And then they did the merge, where they went from proof of work to proof of stake. And you can see what the yearly inflation rate would have been if they stayed on proof of work. It would have been 3.4%. Since they haven't done that, they actually have a lower inflation rate than Bitcoin right now. And I'm not going to call Ethereum the best store of value on the planet. It's Bitcoin. This is centralized. They actually had to roll this fucker back a while ago. There's this other, oh God, what is it even called anymore? It's been so many years. Ethereum Cash? No, it's something else. Do you guys remember what it was called? There was a time where they had to break off, and they basically, somebody stole a bunch of money from this network, and so they had to separate out. And there were the people who didn't like the fact that they did that. They stayed on the old one. Ethereum Cash, is that right? Fuck, it's been so long, guys. You got to tell me if anybody remembers. Oh, Ethereum Classic, Ethereum Classic, and so that was the non-modified version, and then Ethereum went down this way. Yeah, thanks, Alex. Yeah, and so. These things have changed a lot over time, but this is rocket fuel. Nobody's talking about this with the Ethereum world, but when you have Robinhood doing tokenization of stocks on Arbitrum, a layer 2 solution for Ethereum, and you have people like Tom Lee pushing Ethereum hard right now, and then you have these mechanics behind the scene after the burn and the merge and the removal from proof of work to proof of stake, and then the multiplier, the burn, guys, if this network keeps seeing the volumes it's seeing, the burn rate could turn this negative. And what do I mean by that? I mean, in the last 5 minutes, there's been an inflation rate of negative 0.014% on Ethereum. In the last hour, it's 0.64%. But again, and look, so it's about 0.5. So we said the trend was 0.8% inflation rate over that longer time frame. But now when we look at it over the last day, it's only 0.5. And it's 0.67 here over 7 days. But you can see how the trend over the last 30 is actually lower than the previous inflation rate. This thing could go fucking negative. On top of everybody buying massive amounts of Ethereum, this thing can go negative. And so the new supply could be negative. Not 450 Bitcoin a day after being 900 previously. It could go negative. And on top of all these treasury companies aggressively fighting for Ethereum, the math here is fun. It's a fun math. And don't get me wrong, Ethereum, maybe Internet 2.0, cool. I get that narrative. Definitely not the best store of value on the planet. Definitely not decentralized. Definitely not Bitcoin. But could be rocket fuel, and I don't ignore rocket fuel ever. Smash the like. Yeah, if you guys could do that. If you're here, please. I would love, guys, for you to share this out. It would be awesome to have this be my biggest stream ever. And if that doesn't happen, that's fine. Usually days where people are making tons of money, that will increase the amount of viewership. It's just how the math works out. But yeah, let's keep looking here. So we got, let's look at this. Sharper Link. Oh, it's down 7% in pre-market. So Sharper, not Sharper Image. It dates me horribly. But you can see how we've been trying to go down. The thing I love here, though, is this is a bullish pennant. We're trying to break down, but we're failing at it, and we're wicking underneath. So this lets me know that the most likely path for SWC is going to be higher. And then we're seeing really good support in the bottom right over here on Bitcoin too, where it's trying to go higher. So, and we've just got everything we ever wanted, guys. So there might be some people that sell the news just because this is a major event and they want to gain a little bit of cash. But I think over a very quick period of time, we're going to see rocket fuel. And so I would encourage people to be patient. I am not a day trader. People seem to think I'm a day trader. I'm not a day trader. I don't try, like I might make trades daily, but I'm not going in and out with large portions of my portfolio. I'm not making a bet that SBET falls dramatically and I want to get out now and then buy it back in 2 days. I just don't fucking work that way. I think that's crazy because you can easily get left behind. I gradually take profits on the way up and benefit from those. And then I buy when things get bad. I'm a simple man. And I think that that's a much easier way to sleep at night when you know that you're in the game or you're not trying to play both sides of things, shorting things, going long. It just gets fucking crazy. And I don't think that's a good way to invest. I think right now, guys, we've got rocket fuel in front of us with Ethereum and altcoins. And you don't sell out all of that after you get like a 50% gain. You just don't do that. That's not how people get rich. That's not how all these guys got rich. They sat on this shit, and then they paid attention to cycles. I did want to point this out. Nowhere near critical mass on Bitcoin, but retail's coming back. This is the 5-year chart, guys. This is where we peaked last time. I'm going to go back to the 10-year to give you a better perspective on just where we are based on previous cycles. This is actually more than 10 years. It's 11, I think. So this is the top of a previous cycle before I was in the game. This is the top where a lot of people came in 2017. Then over here, this ended up being the top because the Fed raised rates at the most aggressive rate in history, and it killed the cycle. And so it ended up like this was the toppity top, and then we couldn't get any higher because of what the Fed did. I think if the Fed wouldn't have done anything, we would have went even higher than that. And now we're right here, guys. So if you put it in perspective, retail is not even fucking in here yet. They don't care at all about what's going on. They're just starting to get excited when they see YouTubers like myself moving into our new houses. Then they're probably going to start getting excited and wanting to buy more. And they see their best friends all of a sudden buying a Lambo. They're going to be like, "What the fuck just happened?" So you're going to see retail starting to get in. You're going to see a lot of that. RS says game hasn't done much since the ETH announcement. Feels like a big rip. Yeah, but they're diluting too. It's probably why they dropped yesterday, right? So, but again, they're holding massive support here, guys. Look at this volume profile over here. This is sick, and they're above it. So yes, they've been chugging along here, but you also have to remember that Game said that they're going to dilute the shit out of shareholders, just like SBET's doing, so that they can buy a bunch of Ethereum. This is how the game works, right? The game works. Funny. I didn't even try for that. Let me see. And it's in here somewhere. Maybe, here we go. Game is the best of the bunch. I don't know about that. Whatever. It's small, though. It's super fucking tiny. It's super fucking tiny, which is what we like. We want a high growth rate, right? So $70 million public offering completed. Treasury strategy to be aggressively advanced. Let's just look them up. Let's go to Game. What is it? Game Star? What is it? No. What is it? What was it? Game Square. Game Square. I've got 23 tickers, and it's so hard to keep up. So hard. Am I following them? I'm not following the people that I have like 100 plus K and $200,000 in. That's funny. All right, let's look here. So yeah. Let's look at this. I'm going to retweet this. This was from yesterday. It says, from our CEO, the raise marks a pivotal milestone for GameSquare and enables us to move with speed and scale to continue to build what we believe is one of the most ambitious Ethereum treasury strategies in the public markets. I currently, full disclosure, I have, let me see here. I got some money over here. I got 96, I got almost 100,000 in one account. And then again, I sold a little bit of SBIT to buy more in my other account. And I've got, let me see how much I got over here. How much do I have? Oh, another 90. So I got almost $200,000 in game right now. So yes, I am gaming. I am gaming, guys. And now we're following this one, so we'll keep an eye on it. Total market cap for stablecoins. Okay, cool. Let's see here. What else we got? Fully Fall 2 says, can we get more frequent regular pie charts of his holdings, please? Of mine? Yeah. You hire me. Go ahead and pay to get me somebody to do this, and we'll update it more frequently. I mean, I did update it. Let's see here on July 13th, 5 days ago. But yeah, you pay to have somebody do this. I don't do busy work. I'm not an administrator. I'm the big theory guy who also shows charts and is nice enough to show his allocation and my gains over periods of time. Most people don't do that. Is it too late to get into the game? This is fun. I like this wordplay. I don't think so, man. I think it's cheap as fuck. I actually think after the retrace yesterday, going from 284 or whatever, maybe that was the day before, going from 284, like right around this 284, 290 range, all the way down to 176 in pre-market, up 10%. I actually think that's pretty cool, personally, especially with this volume shelf. Look at this volume shelf, dude. This screams, I'm done here. It screams, I'm done here. And honestly, maybe I'll even pick up a little bit more where it's at today. Maybe I'll sell a little bit of SBIT and do that. And maybe I'll get a little more into BMNR today too. Because again, I only have like, I want to say it's like 50K. Let me see where I bought it. I think I bought it in the same account that I'm looking at here. Nope, it's not in this one. Is it in the other one? BMNR. Yeah, I got exactly 50K. So I just got a starter pack in my other account. But yeah, I mean, I'll try, dude. It's just like, that's busy work for me. It's much easier for me to focus on big picture stuff and then update my portfolio allocations and my performance like once a week, and then provide a bunch of charts and extra information on X, and then update the Discord, and then do this YouTube videos, and then try and buy my new house, and then get ready for my surgery at the end of the month. Yeah, probably won't be happening anytime soon. When miner squeeze, I think it's happening right now. We had the largest Ethereum squeeze in history, which is probably why we're sitting at 3,615 right now, from a short squeeze on Ethereum. And I think that's going to continue, but I think miners are getting squeezed out too. I don't know exactly what we're sitting. Let's check something real quick. Let's look at, what is it? X Max Trader. No, maybe Max. Right here, Max TFSA. He was keeping track of short interest on miners for us. I don't know if he still is. Talking about Bit Digital. He's talking about Ethereum a lot. So I don't know. Does anybody know of the latest metrics on short interest for Bitcoin miners? I know they're high. I can look over here. You know what? We can do this. We'll look at. We should still have some semblance of short interest over here. I don't know if it's going to be updated to like the last day. What will you sell to buy BM&R? I don't know. Maybe some SBET, but it's got to have enough volume. I don't know. We'll see. I want to keep. Might sell some Mara calls if we go up a lot. I do have a lot of that. I've got $700,000 now in Mara. It's went up a lot in a short period of time for me, but I also don't want to sell it too quickly. The thing that sucks for me right now is just, I just wish I had like more of something that isn't going to move a lot and doesn't have a lot of upside opportunity. But there's so many things that have upside opportunity. I feel horrible selling any of it, but I do want balance, and I've done really good on SBET, and so maybe some of that. We'll see. All right. Anyway, CleanSpark. Oh, I got to get rid of these broken charts. CleanSpark short interest. Where is it here? 25.75. That sounds pretty right. If anybody has a more updated figure, let me know. But as far as I know, like Wolf, Mara, and CleanSpark are some of the most shorted Bitcoin miners out there. And so for that reason alone, it should be rocket fuel to the upside. What do I do with CleanSpark 37 call? I don't know. What's the date on it? What's the date? I mean, if it's July, nothing. Just watch it go to zero. Right? I think that's all you can do. I still have CleanSpark. We continue. I don't know what that means. Joseph, today, the ones you had, I've got a bunch. If it's the July ones, you can just say goodbye and watch them turn to dust. If it's the September and November ones, you're probably going to make a lot of money. So it just depends on which ones you're talking about. Unlock Real Estate, Jesse Bro, if you need any help with making something in Excel for ease, I already have something in Excel. The problem is updating all of it, especially with options. Options are horrible. Just getting updated pricing on options and trying to get any of that working is a bitch. So it's a very manual process. Plus, guys, I have like 11 or 12 accounts across multiple platforms, and there's no good APIs that can tap into all of these and also work with options. So there's just like manual work no matter what I do. I've looked at a bunch of different solutions. I've tried to explore it. I've tried to get input. I have not found anything that makes my life a lot easier than it is right now. It's the options that really fuck it up. And there's a bunch of major exchanges that are older, like Ally, that don't have good API access. They just don't give that stuff away. Yeah, exactly. SureShot just said it. The APIs are not public and they suck. Yeah. So if you don't have it public, I can't pull the data, and it's not easily scraped. It just sucks. Sydney, not having public APIs is annoying. It's super annoying. That's why I love companies like Robinhood. I feel like they're just going to change it all. I feel like they're going to change the world. But yeah, so I think Bitcoin miners are going to have a lot of potential ahead. I really do. Let's jump over here though. Let's get back into all of this. I want to go back and look at some of the things we published recently. So, and let me just zoom in. So again, we got Game looking to kick some ass, I think. I really do. I think Game's going to do well. I think SBET could take a breather. It could also do well. If Ethereum just keeps going up the way it's going up, I don't even know that the dilution's going to matter. I think people are just going to be so excited they're going to fucking ape in. And that's kind of what we're seeing on Solana stuff. We're seeing a lot of people aping into those. And we're seeing people ape into to Ethereum-related bets too, like Game, that's currently up 8.7% in pre-market. So it's just a matter of, do we see a short-term, all the great things have happened and we're selling off move? And that could happen today. But yeah, this is cool. The Game Square thing is cool. Let me do this. I'm going to put this at the top. If you guys can comment, like, that's awesome. Only 19 comments in there, but more does help. Let's get down here, though. So Bitcoin, we have an Australian public company, Digital X, buys an additional 57.5 Bitcoin. This is just global now, guys. We have the Spanish public company Vanati Coffee buying an additional 4 Bitcoin. Ranking it is 81 now for them. Oh, this one's the same. I'm going to close this one. I don't want to have dupes. We've got my comment here about Ethereum having, just taking off like a rocket ship. And again, I just showed you that the inflation rate is lower than that of Bitcoin right now. I don't know if it's half. I think Bitcoin's like 1.5 right now. Can you guys tell me if I'm right? What is the current inflation rate of Bitcoin? We will look. Let's see what Gemini tells us. The current inflation rate of Bitcoin. Oh no, is it that low already? So it might be higher right now. This marks the lowest level of inflation rate in 2025. That might not be helpful. I don't think that's the actual inflation rate. I think it's higher. I think this time frame is weird. Let me do this. What is? Oh God, man. Can I type? What is the annual inflation rate of Bitcoin as of 2025? Maybe I should have put average. Okay, that might be more accurate. The as of the annual inflation rate is approximately point. So maybe they're close right now. Ethereum and Bitcoin are close, but if Ethereum keeps seeing the volume on network, on chain, which I think is going to increase right now, a lot of it I think is off chain, we'll see negative inflation on Ethereum, and so Bitcoin will be at 0.84 and Ethereum will be at 0 or negative. And so again, the math is going to look pretty sweet with it being a smaller cap and a bunch of money flowing into it, and the narrative with stablecoins and all this other stuff. So I'm excited about that. We do have 14 minutes until we get that building data, housing starts and building permits. So we'll take a look at that in a second. And then let's just jump back over and keep going. Dr. Bitcoin said, so we got an announcement from Smarter Web today. It says, announcement, result of accelerated book building, raising in total of approximately 17.5 million. Is that euro or pounds? Help me out, guys. With a high level of demand, and the book build has raised 17.5 million through the issue of a total of 5.947 million new ordinary shares at $295. So it looks like at a little bit of a discount here for that. It depends on the timing. The offer price was at closing bid price on July 17th. Yeah, okay. So this so reminds me back in the day of what it's pounds. Thank you, sir. This reminds me of what Grayscale used to do, where they locked people in and then they sold GBTC at a discount. People were locked in for a period of time, and then by the time they were able to sell, Grayscale or GBTC was much higher, and those people made a bunch of money, and it was like a guaranteed play where of course you're going to do it. Of course you're going to give funding to these companies, and they probably have something similar, I would imagine, with a lock-in period. And so what we're saying here, Dr. Bitcoin says, oh, sorry, I got a notification about my house. SWC with a new, okay, so he's just saying the same thing. He's saying they have 4 million in cash at hand, and that will at hand will be 41 million pounds, meaning another 460 BTC for the world's fastest growing Bitcoin treasury company. And so to put that into perspective, let's just jump over here real quick. Jesse, check out SSK yield bearing Solana ETF. Okay, I'll try and take a look at that. But if you look over here, let's do Bitcoin accumulation race. And so again, you can see that these guys right now are sitting at 1,600 Bitcoin, and if they're able to purchase like another, they'll be over 2,100 BTC really quickly. And again, this is Smarter Web Company compared to MicroStrategy. They're kind of flat now. Again, this is an exponential scale. If you look here, this is an exponential scale. So it's showing how exponentially Smarter Web is growing. And then even in this green line here, you can see Metaplanet, and it's just aggressive growth rate towards MicroStrategy. But Smarter Web is just the fastest horse, literally growing faster than anybody else that's out there. I don't know of any treasury company that's beating them right now, unless you include some of these where literally, like XXI went from nothing to a bunch, and there's going to be some of those. But this kind of steady Eddie approach is brilliant towards growing and increasing their size. And there's something you need to understand here, like this days to cover. I'm going to use this. I want you guys to see this, okay? So these are different tiers in here. This is like the top one is the 4x, or I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take that out, is the 4x NAV. The next one is 3x NAV, and the next one is 2x NAV, and then the next one shows you at 1x NAV. So what I want to do is fast forward to when the cycle usually ends. So what is this telling us right now? It's telling us that at 1x NAV projection, that by October, we would see a price on Smarter Web of 4,555, right? And this is on the UK-based version of that. Where is it at right now? 276. So if it drops down to 1x NAV, but we continue to see solid growth, guys, we're talking about a 20x. These are the numbers that I want to make sure that you guys understand, because I think it's going to be very important for you to understand the math behind a high growth rate investment like Smarter Web. So I'm conservatively saying this thing can 10x, but it's literally priced to where it could 20x this cycle. And let's go back and look at that chart again. So this is right over here. Again, all the way over here at this level. We're talking about a 20x from where we are today. And that's assuming that it's not at, like, again, it could do that sooner, because if in August we're seeing 3x NAV, we're seeing 974 to 1,000. So we're seeing a 3 to 4x right there alone. Or if it's even higher, if it gets back up and it does a 5x, we could see an 1,800 on Smarter Web by mid-August if it ends up having a 5x MNAV. Why is that interesting? Let's look at the MNAV. So we saw as high as 21x in June, and now look at us. We're a baby down here at 5. Look at this. So we're at some of the lowest levels before this thing really started to take off. So I just want you to understand the exponential nature of what can happen right now in some of these investments. It's crazy. BGZ, thank you for the 20, my friend. Thank you for being number 2 in chat today. And you're welcome. I'm very happy to pass on the alpha. So again, I just want you guys to understand growth is key right now. Growth in Ethereum, growth in Bitcoin, growth in Solana treasuries. The fastest horses will do the best. Consilium could do all right. Again, they just did another capital raise now. Let's actually look at them. They're called Forza, right? So I don't know if this, let me refresh and see if this includes their latest capital raise. They're still growing at a good rate. So they compare themselves to the Smarter Web company, which is beating them. MicroStrategy up here. They show MetaPlanet. They show the blockchain group. And so you can see how they're still growing at a good clip. They're not Smarter Web company, though. Definitely not Smarter Web company. But they're trying. They're doing buys and acquisitions. They're in the UK market, too. They could do really well. They're a much smaller cap. This one, it says market cap 87 million. I think that's in pounds, too. And then what do we have Smarter Web at? Smarter Web is at... That's not right. No, they're at a higher number. This stuff doesn't show correctly in TradingView, so I'll see if I can get the actual math and just maybe solidify that in some way. Suresh, thank you for the $10, my friend. Turner says Chase will only let you buy it when you go when it gets over $5. It's annoying as fuck. Also, yeah, some of them have like these limitations with dollar amount. That does suck. Suresh, thank you for becoming a member. You can talk in chat now. Guys, real quickly, I do have to go to the bathroom. So we're going to jump over here. I'm going to see if I can find you a video, though, that's interesting. So let me just jump over here to videos and see what we've had this morning and see if we can find something that's cool. You made a ton of money on SBET. Congratulations, my friend. Again, it could retrace for a short period of time, too, so just be ready for that. But it will go up again. It is literally... It and BMNR are the fastest horses right now in the Ethereum Treasury game, with Game probably being another good one, I think. We got CEO interviews, genies. That looks boring. Top videos. Expect the S&P to reach 7,000 by year end. I want to hear that. All right, so I'm going to get my coffee here real quick, guys. I'm going to let you guys listen to this. Give me a second, okay? Oh, I better give you volume.
Close this year. Our next guest.
Be right back.
Get this.
Coffee
Says
break
she sees
and
the index
tea break.
hitting
Whoa,
7,000
memberships. Thank you,
by
man.
year
I'll be
end.
right
And I
back,
asked
dude.
someone the
Thank
other
you.
day, how's next year look? You're even giving me something for that, Marianne. 7,200 by the end of next year. Bitcoin, 150,000. Wow. You're a wild woman. This is Marianne Bartels is here with Sanctuary Wealth. You are not afraid. You're fearless.
Well, that's after 40 years of being in the business, Joe. I've developed some confidence in the analysis that I'm able to do. And, you were right. You said that, we need growth and AI, and I think it's coming. I think it's going to significantly impact corporate earnings, productivity, and it's going to show up in the equity markets. And Joe, it's not just a bull market here. It's a bull market globally. You're seeing European markets break out. I think you're going to get the Japanese market to break out. It's a global secular bull market driven by all this new innovation, from AI to blockchain to crypto to Web3. And I don't think all of this is yet priced into the market. And you can see we're already in a summer meltup. The market is not positioned for this yet.
That was a point that was made by Kevin Warsh yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, Marianne, that there are powerful.
All right, the wife's getting the coffee. I got my pee in. I'm probably still going to listen to this. I want to see what she has to say, because I do agree that we're going to be at least 7,000. And this is also, you know what? We might take a look at some of Tom Lee's stuff here too. Who wants to look at FS Insight? Guys in chat, if you want to see that. It looks like Manny's gift memberships are still rolling through. If you want to see Tom Lee's FS Insight stuff today, let me know.
Disinflationary forces coming from AI. And if you think about the internet, none of us had any idea what that was going to usher in. And if this is more powerful, what happens with AI than the internet, think about in terms of it maybe not just disinflation, but the amount of, I guess if you have growth, deficits, and debt becomes less cumbersome. And therefore, there could be perhaps a secular disinflationary trend from technology, which is pretty exciting.
Yes. Technology is going to create disinflation. It's going to increase efficiency and productivity numbers in our economic data. It's going to be super exciting, guys. Sensei Jesse, you're mastering the charts like a true crypto samurai. Thank you, my friend. I don't know what PLN is, but thank you for the 100 of it. Can somebody tell me what that is? Or maybe you can tell me, Kravik. Jules, Jesse, did you get a chance to look at BLG? Do I own that one? No, what is it? Can you tell me what it is, Jules? All right, let's keep going.
But we could have lower rates and not worry about it.
And I agree with that. I do think rates are trending down and can go much lower.
All right, thank you from Poland, my friend. I appreciate you, sir.
Lower than people expect. Right now, we're in heightened fear that tariffs are going to bring inflation. And I think over time, especially...
Thank you, Jacob. You guys are fucking insane, man. I appreciate it. Guys, if you just got gifted a membership, it gives you the ability to be able to talk and chat and, again, contribute back to my work. So thank you very much for doing that. You guys are awesome.
Trending into next year, we can get rates down. And that's going to be another stimulus for risk assets, for the equity market, for the crypto market. And then maybe finally we can get something moving in the housing market if we can get rates down.
Marianne, you didn't start the year at 7,000, did you?
I started the year at 7,200. And when tariffs hit...
Yeah, go ahead.
So when tariffs hit, we did mark down that if we did go into a recession, those targets wouldn't be hit. But since after we went down 20% from the tariffs, we've been raising our targets ever since. And so I'm comfortable getting to year end at 7,000. And I think in the first quarter of next year, we might even be at 7,200. What I learned is that I shouldn't have changed my forecast.
Right.
Nice. Smart lady. I like her. Yeah, for a while there, I didn't like the concept of having people gift the memberships, but I'm okay with it, man. We can always get rid of people. If somebody's going to talk shit in chat, we can always get rid of them. So you can lose your membership and never have the ability to be able to talk again. Doesn't seem like a good idea to me. So I'm not too worried about it. We're up over 11% now with UPXI, the Solana Treasury Fund. Somebody asked what treasuries I'm in. For Solana, I'm in UPXI, DFDV, and then I've got a 2X Solana fund called Sold. That one's been doing really good. I've made a lot of money off of that, and I've got a decent amount. I think I've got about $500,000 in Solana related investments right now. Again, check my portfolio. It's pretty close to the amount I've got in it, and then again with Ethereum, I've got more. I'm closer to $1 million in Ethereum treasuries right now. If I look at those, so doing pretty good on those. I want to see Jesse blocking people again. I don't want to see Jesse blocking people again. It means my blood pressure is usually up. We don't want that. Expect 2 trolls. That's true. No, not. That's true.
A lot of people. I'm watching crazy
Upexi.
stuff happen.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I've got Upexi. I had a starter pack, but I think it's outgrown starter pack status. I had 72,000, but it looks like it's up 10%. So I've got about $80,000 in Upexi right now, about 10,000 shares.
And they start the year at,
You may be over allocated to MetaPlanet and TSWCF. I don't think you can be over allocated to TSWCF. Oh, real quick, guys, we do have Rick Schmantelli getting red. I love it when he gets red. Let's see what's happening here.
Welcome back to Squawk Box. Rick Santelli here live on CME HQ, awaiting the news of the day. We have housing starts and permits, 8:30 Eastern right now. We'll have University of Michigan sentiment, top of the 10 o'clock. 1,321,000 seasonally adjusted annualized units. That's a smidge better than we were expecting, and it's definitely better than last month, which was the lowest pace at 1,256,000, going all the way back to the beginning of the pandemic in May of 2020. If we look at permits, a very similar scenario. 1,397,000, also a bit better than we were expecting, and actually very close to last month's 1,394,000, which was on the week.
So this is good. So we're seeing more building permits and we're seeing more housing starts, which again, having more of this stuff going on is going to help lower prices. Plus, you have to realize this, guys. All the illegal immigrants leaving the country are reducing price pressure on housing, especially apartments, but also housing. There are people that were like living in Chicago that were living in 6, nice homes funded by the government. So you get with some of these programs. So when you remove that artificial pressure that was created by the influx of 10 to 12 million illegal immigrants in 4 years, and you start pulling some of that out, while at the same time you're building more and you're seeing more people get interested in expanding their houses, adding on to them. This is good stuff. This is super healthy. This is the stuff we've been wanting to see in the housing market and that I was hoping was going to happen right at the beginning of spring, where you see that quarterly influx. And it's building up. This is so good, guys.
Side as well. That was on the permit side the weakest since June of 2020. So the rebound small on permits, a little bit bigger on the starts. We all know what's going on here. Inventory, especially on new constructions, running on the high side. Rates remain on the high side. And last month, many of the housing experts said something that really caught my attention, that describes what they perceive to be a dynamic that makes weakness in the future a lot more likely, and that is the amount of starts is running below the amount of completions. See, when you think about that pretty much sums it up.
I do want to see something real quick. That's interesting. That's an interesting point. I want to look real quickly at the housing starts data and the building permits data. I'm gonna mute Schmantelli here. Go back to live. We'll get back to this fine lady here in a second too. But let's just look here. So housing starts June, 1.321 million versus a consensus of 1.3 and a forecast of 1.29. This is a much bigger number. We like that. And then again, building permits, it looks like for the month of June. What do we have here? Percentage. Oh, versus actual numbers. So percentage versus numbers. Prelim. So building permits 1.397 million versus a previous of 1.394. Consensus was 1.39. Forecast was 1.37. So we're seeing really strong growth here. I'm going to skip the percentage numbers. I want to get in here. I hate the percentage month over month shit. I'd rather see the actual data. So let's look here, though. So I think what he's talking about is we're still seeing lower numbers. If you look back here, it kind of peaked out in January of 2022. And again, you can see where the pandemic happened. It just went things got weird for like a minute to April 20, and then they skyrocketed. So people like stopped for a second to figure out what was going on with the pandemic, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, game on." And then they started building permits started to pick up again. And so, but now we've seen this decline ever since because again, rates are artificially high. The rate I'm going to pay on my house, it just pisses me off. It's more than the one I have on my existing house. The house I live in right now, guys, I bought for $102,000 fucking dollars. It's 2,750 square feet, roughly. And nowadays, houses are much more expensive. And on top of that, you're having to pay high interest rates. The rates have to come down. This will happen. But it's interesting, though, that building permits are still in this downtrend. I think what's going to happen is they're going to start ticking up. And I'm glad that they're starting to outperform expectations. I love that. Let's look at housing starts super quick. Housing starts, again, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that this right here marked the bottom. May of 2025 marked the bottom of housing start related data. Literally the worst number that we had seen since July of 2024. And the only other time that was matched was the pandemic. Otherwise, look at this. We had a trend going up in housing starts because, again, we aren't keeping up with the rate of demand. But now I think if we start to see rates coming down, if we're seeing price pressure coming down, we're seeing the actual cost of houses starting to go down because of a weaker market, we'll start to see builders go, hey, dude, let's start building more houses. If rates are coming down, if the economy's doing better, if we're starting to see a balancing in our budgets because of what's happening with the tariff revenues coming in, and we're starting to see growth, and we're starting to see other companies and countries around the world investing in the United States, and we're seeing all of this, and we're seeing deregulation, and we're seeing crypto and Bitcoin markets taking off, and we're seeing technology advancing. I saw some metrics, guys, in regard to AI with like the number of words for a reporting standpoint, like for when you pay for work to be done from averages and reporting. I forget the actual metric, but it's like a cool one. This is from Peter Diamandis' channel. And with all these AI guys that are just some of the most brilliant people in the space, they were talking about how like 1 million words for like buying reporting related information and like parsing down the data, like let's give it a metric of like $20, right? They said that within the next couple of years, they believe that will be down to $1. So it'll see a reduction of 95% in cost for reporting related data. What's going to happen when you have those kind of efficiencies in the market? You're going to see companies' expenses dropping. You're going to see their efficiency going up. You're going to see their productivity going up. There's so many good things happening. And then at the same time, you're going to see housing picking up. Everything is pointing in the right direction right now. I'm super excited about all of it, guys. Let me get caught up with chat here, and we'll just keep rolling down. SBET calls going to be fine, correct? A $35 October 17th SBET call is pretty oh yeah, no, it'll be fine. But here's the thing: once you've kind of reached your target price, you start to get to a point where the call, the returns that you get on the upside diminish a little bit. It's just all has to do with like the theta decay and the burn. So again, they'll be fine. Your SBET is going up, dude. It's going to be well over $35, and you could make a decent amount off of it. But once it starts going up a lot, I mean, you should be taking some off the table. Hopefully, you've been cashing some out along the way. And again, guys, I'm talking about taking multipliers off. I'm going to be pulling back on options. I'm going to be pulling back on multipliers and locking in gains. I suggest you do the same thing. Kanata, thank you for becoming a member, man. Now you can talk and chat for as little as $2. You can be a part of the community. All right, let's keep going here. Sid 07, at my top, I had 30K in Solana, but got out at $200 after the Trump meme dump and moved to stocks, ETFs, held my BTC through. Wish I had bought more, but told myself I'm just BTC now. Yeah, that always happens. Wax says best community ever. I agree. So make sure, guys, that you hit the like button and that you're commenting. We do have, I think just a minute ago, we hit 1,265. This is record-breaking stuff for me. If we can get above 1,300, guys, this will be the best stream I've ever had. So if you can share and like and do all the things to help that out, that would be just freaking amazing. And again, on X, if you can go ahead and comment on there, that would be great. It's much appreciated, guys. Very, very much appreciated. Sarthak, is it possible to get access to your Discord through a YouTube membership tier? Or do I? Yeah, no, you have to do it separately. I don't know how to get all these things combined. Maybe if we keep doing really well, we'll get there. Guys, we're pushing back more to I got to figure out where I'm pointing here again. It's kind of hard to remember. Yeah, we're bottom right corner. We're pushing back more to $120,000 on Bitcoin. While Ethereum takes a little bit of a breather at 3,614. Not much of one, though. Not much of one. This jockeying back and forth, guys, I'm seeing market breadth everywhere. Gets me stupid excited. Very, very excited about what's coming for us here. I'm going to sell a little bit of stuff today. I'm going to try and keep it minimal. Maybe I'll move out a little bit of SBET and put a little bit of that into BMNR and maybe a little bit of that into game. Even though those are up on the day. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm super excited right now, guys. There's so much good stuff happening. Coincilium getting absolutely smoked, is it? Let's see here. It was down 5% yesterday. Let me restore my connection here. It's down, it looks like I think this is the UK market. Yeah, the UK market is down 1.48. It actually looks like a bottoming pattern. I said before that people were saying, like, should I buy? They said, should I buy Coincilium now? And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't think you should. I think we're finally getting our bottoming pattern. Look at these wicks down here. And this thing's dropped hard. And you're right. Yeah, it got fucking smoked, right? Down 86% from where it was in June 23rd. So 3 weeks ago, down 86%. That's some painful fucking dropping. But look at this. We're actually getting a bottoming pattern. This is a beautiful thing. And this is such a steep drop that when it starts to go up, you'll see a really wicked, sick-ass rebound, right? Because look how steep that drop is. So if it can't drop anymore and the velocity has ended to the downside, and let's look at volumes here to confirm some of that. Yeah, there's no volume left, right? Like you had the big pump, 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 and then you had dump, dump, dump. But now what's it doing? There's just no volume left. The volume is in decline. And so the price is in decline and the volume's in decline. That lets me know that we're more likely to go up than down. So I actually think the pain and suffering that people have experienced in Coincilium is almost over. I have slowly been adding to it. This thing had an RSI of 97 on the daily time frame. So if you bought at the top at $1 something, or what is that up here? I can't even tell what that is. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got this in US dollars over here, but then it's got the regular price over here, so it's really confusing. But I like to look at it in dollars, so we're going to leave it that way. If you bought it at $1.20 and it went down to 16 cents, you're crying, right? But it's bottoming. It's bottoming right now. And you should have known with the 97 RSI on the daily. Anytime anything is over 90 on the daily time frame, you are near a local top. It doesn't mean it has to drop hard, but it could chop sideways for a long period of time. So just be smart when you're looking at this stuff. When you're getting in the 90s, take a little bit of profit. Let's look on that note real quickly. Let's just look at SBET and see how high it got. I don't think it's been as crazy, honestly. No, it hasn't. It hasn't. It only got to 85, but I did it a bunch of times. Look at this. This is a lot. And so now it's finally taken a breather. It's probably going to develop a little bit of bearish divergence, and it could take a breather for a period of time. I don't want to call it dead money, but it could do something where it takes some time to relax, right? This is what happens in markets usually. Yeah, and I'll have to think about the moves I'm going to make today. Again, I should be cashing out some money. I'll probably cash out some. Maybe it'll just be $100K today. To give time for things to go up. I need to get that deposit ready. I need to get a $270,000 deposit ready. Catch SBET sub 9. Sub 9. What are we at right now? What? What? Oh, you caught it. I hope you said caught it. If you think it's going back down to here, you're not right. So, no. When I told people to buy it in the 9, like if you caught it at 9, awesome. You think it flushes today. It could, but it ain't going down to $9. So if that's what you're trying to say, ask me. Hopefully that's not what you're trying to say. That's not what's happening at all. That's not what's happening at all. You don't get that kind of price action on this. You don't. We could fill the gap. We could go to 28. We could do this. This is doable, right? Maybe even down to 26, something like this. That's doable. 9 is not doable. Can you loan me $20? No, I don't borrow money to people. It's either a gift or it's nothing at all. Dookie Pie, flushes because of the $500 billion offering. No. $500 billion? It wasn't $500 billion. $500 billion would be a hell of an offering. ZA, I'm ready for ammo to buy more SBET. Anything below 30. Sergeant Squid, Jesse, my average is 1477. Do I just ride this out? You can. I would, if you don't, you could totally ride out the dips. Honestly, you could totally ride out the dip and not even think twice about it. It's totally up to you. It might be one of those things where you maybe you want to move some of it into game. Are you buying any more game in a MetaPlanet? I already bought MetaPlanet. I don't think I'm buying more MetaPlanet right now. I don't think I'm going to be doing that. Yeah, I don't think I'll be doing that. Shares available. Let me see here. How much cash do I have? I'm trying to see something real quick here. Sorry, I'm just checking my account while we're talking about things. Got weekends yesterday after the dilution news. Ported SBET. That actually might be really good. That might be really good. Ported some over to BMNR. And you know why I think that might be good? Let's just look real quick here. You have the opposite thing in BMNR, right? You need to realize this. You got a daily gap over here at $33. I don't know if we're going to fill it now, though. There is heavy dilution that we're talking about here, too. But this is more of a bottoming pattern, whereas you can't complain about SharpLink because this thing was at $8.72, and then it made its all the way up to 40, right? So this one already had its bottoming pattern, and then it started to go up, and now it could take a breather, and then it could go into BitMiner. Yes, yeah, totally, dude. It could do that. It could do that. I don't think that's a crazy bet. I don't think that's a crazy bet to make. Let me see something real quick here. Traditional. I'm just trying to check something. Your order. All right. Let me see here. I don't know that I want to do all of that. I'm just checking something real quick here, guys. Sorry. Give me a second. Yeah, okay. All right, cool. I'm going to do one thing, I think. I'm going to do one trade today, and then I'm up as far as a sell, and then I'll probably do some additional buying. I might sell in some other accounts, too. I got Tanner to buy $1,000 worth of SBET. Tanner? Future Invest? Are you shitting me? Did you get him to do it at the high? I might sell a little bit today. Might be a decent amount. We'll see. What do I think about EOC? I don't know enough about it still. And here's the thing, like EOC, what all does EOC do? Like batteries and stuff? Does that seem like a good area to get into right now with everything that Trump's doing? I don't know. You got him to buy at the top. I gotta hang out with Tanner again. I miss him. I haven't seen him in a long time. Did he really buy it? You guys got to tell me. Doge has no utility. Oh, yeah. Doge is literally just a meme coin. To fully American, so it seems good. Yeah. He did? Oh, my God. I love that, dude. I love that. We might have to hang out with Tanner again. I love Tanner. I think he's such a genuine... He's so Canadian. Tanner is the definition of a Canadian person. He's like the nicest motherfucker you'd ever want to meet. I still don't like the caterpillar growing on his face, but I won't be too mean. So maybe that was mean. I don't know. I love you, Tanner. I love you, bro. But yeah, he's the shit. Tanner's a great person, dude. He's just a legitimately good person. Adding to ass and titties today? I don't know if I am. How is ass and titties? Yeah, ass and titties took a hit yesterday too. Let's check that chart. Let's look at some charts real quick here. We do need to get back to some news-related events too. Sequoians. Yeah, we can talk about that too. That's another chart we'll pull up. I'll just put it over here. We'll talk about both of these. Let's go to ass and titties first. And that's affectionately called that because of asset entities and you guys getting that shit in my head and I can't get rid of it now. So thank you for that. This one is an $84 million market cap. I think it's actually US based. Guys, tell me some stuff about asset entities. I barely remember anymore. There's so many of these that I'm trying to keep track. I feel like I'm blurring them together. I want to say that this one has some affiliation with Vivek Ramaswamy. Is that right? And yeah, and I think this one can do well. They need to buy Bitcoin. Let's look real quickly at Bitcoin treasuries and see where these guys are at on it. Is US and Vivek. Yeah, he had some affiliation with it. Yeah, we're going to look at Sequoians too. Yes, I actually love that play. I dumped a bunch of the stock yesterday, I want to say, or the day before, and I bought a bunch of options on it. Natalie Brunell. Natalie Brunell is associated with Similar. I think that's the one you're thinking of there. Real quickly, though, let's do a Control F. Let's look at ASST. Is it even on this list? It's not even on the list yet. So I don't even know off the top of my head what they're holding, or at least not on this one. Is it not on this one? Oh, you know what? They probably don't have a holding yet because they're still going through a merger. So we'll leave ass and titties alone for now. Again, this is I think this is a starter pack for me. I don't even know how much I own right now. Let me look over here. It's a starter pack. I got $56,000 in ass and titties. Could I buy more? Maybe. But there's also a gap down here towards 338. Big drop that would happen if that happened. I do not think that this one down here is going to happen. This dollar thing, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we need clarity on the merger. I feel like that was July or August. If anybody has more information on it, please throw it out there. But yeah, otherwise, I don't know if ass and titties are going to be worth it right now. I did make a bunch of money off of that a couple of weeks ago, and this thing went from $334 to $10. It went up 300%. Now, I do want to talk about Sequoians too. So, guys, why isn't it getting love? I mean, this is normal, right? Let's say that you went from $1.26 to $5.87, and you did that in a period of 2 weeks. Do you think it's okay to take a break? I do. Let's look here. Let's look at the fib retracement level and see what we're talking about here. So we went up, we went down. Did we golden retrace this? Oh, we golden retraced it, guys. So yeah, I'm getting excited about Sequoians today. If that would be a good one, that might be one I want to add some more money to. I'm not gonna lie. That might be one that I want to add some more money to. It's perfectly above the golden retracement zone. It's 98 million cap. And then what do these guys have in regard to Bitcoin? This is interesting, actually. And this one had sweet options contracts. I haven't looked at where they're at right now. I did buy more. I just did it. Yeah, so you're number 31 on the list with 1,053 Bitcoin. You had an aggressive schedule on this thing. And then at the same time, you got beat down and you're really low cap. I'm liking Sequoia. This is a Ben Workman here, guys. We love Ben. Ben is the shit. He's a part of the Northern Lights. Help me out, guys. What's it called? Oh, hey, we've got some talk from the head of the house. I want to see what this is about. 1 second here. This is always important. I actually like Mike Johnson. People hate him. They just want to. They said he's got a punchable face. Maybe. Might be right.
Comments about any additional documents related.
I don't actually know if anybody says that. I just said that, but anyway.
Related to this obsession.
True North. Thank you.
With
yeah, Jeff. I don't know why Jeff was fighting with Climb from Metaplanet. I don't understand the whole infighting. Like my thing is better than your thing. I'm never gonna be that way, guys, unless it's Bitcoin. I'm just never gonna be that way. I don't give a shit if these guys want to like compare dick sizes. Whatever you want to do, you guys. But math is math. That's what everybody should be focused on. And you should be happy for Metaplanet's success. I mean, Michael Saylor is. You should be happy for Andrew's success with the smarter web company. Michael Saylor is. Hell, he could be buying these motherfuckers. I don't know. I could see him being an investor in these smaller entities. Think about it. He can't get the growth rate of return on his stock right now because of his size. When you have over 600,000 Bitcoin, the growth rate isn't going to be the same. Even if you're doing a bunch of, again, preferreds and all these other things that you're doing, you just can't have the same growth rate. It's not how it works. So could he be investing in smaller ones? I would. I totally would. I would do that, and I would do his strategies that he's doing right now. Man Mahindra, what up, bro? Jesse, do you find any other promising investment outside of crypto? There's a lot of promising investments, but I am very focused on Bitcoin and crypto right now. 'Tis the season. BGZ, guys get married to their bags. Why, dude? Why, brother? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that makes no sense, man. Makes no sense. Like, I'm as married to my bag as what it's going to do for me the next day, unless, again, it's Bitcoin. There's sometimes where you think short term. You think short term when Sequoians has went up 400% for you in 2 weeks. You think short term about that. You take a little bit of profit, right? You enjoy that ride. You take a little bit of profit. When you have Smarter Web Company going up 1,000%, you think a little short term on that by going, maybe, just maybe. I take a little bit off the table. And I use that to buy some other things that are getting ready to run. That's where, like, shifting of assets, again, only in IRAs for me. Any kind of like shifting around day trading type of activity that I would do because something is done really, really well over a short period of time. I'm never all in and out. But would I shave some and then move into something else that's got a better technical setup? Fuck yeah. And I love all these. I'm not going to be like, dude, game's the best. It's the only thing I own. All in. I'm never going to be that way. I will be like, Tesla's the best fucking AI company on the planet. And that's just the truth. I might shit on other things with Tesla. I might shit on other things with Bitcoin. But I'm open to making money in all kinds of ways. Guys are falling in love with AI bots, so whatever, right? Yeah. Ask Me says, Jesse, your portfolio management is elite. Allocation and rotation is beyond human, bro. Thank you, man. C-list. We got some OGs. I used to own SQNS back circa 2011. My brother bought it like crazy and would not sell any after major gains. It was YMAX. Yeah, and look at how much you got crushed from that, right? And again, we'll get to Mike Johnson in a second, but let's do that long haul. Let's go back and look at circa 2011. Yeah, again, peak $170, $180 a share. Trough 89 cents. Don't fall in love with your bags, guys. Like what we're seeing now is beautiful. We got like a W bottom here. This is some sick shit. And we just did a .618 golden retracement. They call it golden retracement. If you guys don't know Fibonacci, it is on the back of my shirt. I don't know if I can see that. This is my merch, by the way. You can buy some of this. But I love it. I love the Fibonacci sequence. It is the key to the universe in every way, from literally galaxies out in the universe, all the way, and maybe multiverses, all the way down to the most tiny microbial, smallest fucking things we can see. There is truth in it. Yeah, I have a merch store. If you look on YouTube, you can see.
When this sector
Oh, here, let me show you. If you look on YouTube, you should see it. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. I'll go to view your channel. That's me. And then I'll click on a video. See it. Let me see if I can find it real quick here. I'll go to view your channel. Oh, this is weird. I got me. And then I'll click. Shut the fuck up. I'm getting like Inception-y over here. I enlarged my window. So yeah, if you look underneath, I think you can see it on the desktop. Maybe it's on mobile. I don't know. But there's a merch store in here. And if you click on I think it's here. Where do you see it? It's in here somewhere, man. I just saw it a second ago. Where did it go? Let me go back over here again. It's in here somewhere, bro. Can anybody see it? It's here. I know it is. I don't know why there's nothing underneath this, but I do have a merch store. It's here somewhere. If you guys can find it, let me know. If you guys know how to get to it, let me know. Anyway, closing this, but it is there. All right. Let's keep going here. So I want to get back. So we're all over the place. Are we going to finish this one? Let me see. We're over here with, yeah, let's go back to here. We'll go back to here. I think we're done with the other lady. Let's go back to here. We're going to listen to Mike Johnson real quick.
With the Epstein files, he said it, I think he's saying today basically the same thing you said, that any pertinent.
I should add it. I don't know if I had, check my pin post on X, if the merch store should be in there. Otherwise, I know you can see it on mobile, guys. I know I've seen it on mobile. If you look down in there, you can see the merch. I don't know why it doesn't show on the desktop.
Things, if the court allows to produce any pertinent grand jury testimony subject to the court approval. And
I don't have any comments on Oscar. I haven't paid attention to it. So if Danny and Alfred or Mike Alfred are buying it and they're smart people, check their feed for it. I just don't. I'm not paying attention to it right now. So just take a look at them.
You said that too. And do you expect that to happen? I mean, how does this play out?
No, multi-year. You said multi-year. So I want to be very clear, guys, real quick before we get further into Johnson here. Johnny Mack said, Jesse, will you keep a portion of your S-bet as a multi-year long hold, or do you plan exiting the position completely? I will exit almost all multipliers in the next 3 months, most likely, or at least have a large portion of my bag locked in. And if I make just irrational, if I hit my $20 to $30 million mark, my target is 12. I think that's easy. If I get to $20 to $30 million, I will be out of huge portions of multipliers and in things like IBIT, probably out of Ethereum completely. Don't get me wrong. I think that these things will do well again in the future. There will be cycles. Cycles always happen because there's irrational exuberance that always occurs. It's human nature. And there'll be times where everybody's like, no, dude, this time is different. Every other cycle is over. That is never true. And maybe it's, you can post the merch link. If you can't post it on there, post it on X and then I can tag it or something. But because I don't think YouTube lets you post a link. But yeah, there's always going to be irrational exuberance that sends us really, really high. And I don't mind. I mean, if we go to 280, I'm pretty happy with that shit. But I'll be in some IBIT or something and I'll be on to the next things. Again, I've got a large bag of Tesla to accumulate. There's other things you can buy. There's always other markets you can play in. Financial freedom. Thank you for the 59. Is that a euro? I really need to learn foreign currencies better. Just want to let you know you're a legend. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. IBIT, Anduril, Tesla. Yes, exactly. And honestly, ARGT, Argentina guys just had their credit rating moved higher. I want to invest in Argentina. I believe strongly in Javier Milei, and their economy is so small. They were supposed to be the next United States, guys. That's a euro. Okay, I'm going to lock it in. I'm locking it in mentally. Thank you, Midwest. Or Jacob. But Argentina was supposed to be the next United States. So what happens when they go full capitalism and they embrace Bitcoin and they embrace the US dollar and we're doing well and they're doing trade with us? And I see Argentina having a really great opportunity. It is huge. It is a huge country. It stretches from north to south. They have all kinds of weather. They have all kinds of like mineral deposits and agriculture. Their country can do really well. So again, Anduril, Tesla, probably SpaceX investment, Argentina, maybe some TLT. Government bonds might not be worthless in the future the way they're embracing Bitcoin and what they're doing. So there's a lot of things that you can invest in or put a little money in to increase income and to make some good decisions. And I'll probably be looking at all of those. Rocket Lab's done really well. There's a lot of people that have done really well off of Rocket Lab. That's one I haven't really been interested in. I just think SpaceX, I like to invest in the top tier, and SpaceX is by far going to dwarf everybody. They'll be able to do 1,000 times the payload of Rocket Lab per rocket at a significantly lower cost. So even with their Neutron rocket and everything else, but hey, I don't hate. I'm very happy for people that make money off of it. I hope you guys continue to make money off of it. Speculation is beautiful. Also, Arc Genomics is another one that I'm super excited about. So let's look at that real quick, that chart. And again, this is a longer term play for me. I'm running it as far out as January of 2027 on my calls nowadays, guys. But we overshot the support area that was resistance back in 2015. Support back in 2017, 2018, and almost 2020. Then this thing the speculation got insane on ARC Genomics. The option contracts on these things are ridiculously cheap right now. We already overshot the support zone here. That literally was beautiful support. We overshot it, wicked up with a tweezer bottom, grinded up against it, broke out aggressively, and now we're looking to go higher. Just the measured move on the cup and handle that we did right here. It's hard to tell, but this is a cup, this is the handle. With the breakout from this gets us up here to 31. There's no volume on this thing, really all the way down to 35. That's the trough it wants to fall into. Once it gets past this area right here, the 31.82, and turns that into support, it wants to fall all the way to $40. I feel like the calls are still stupid cheap. I'm looking out ahead. I'm looking at AI helping the genomics sector maybe find, like, again, we had Elon Musk and I shouldn't say Peter Diamandis, but Elon Musk talk about how his AI is going to start finding technologies as early as this year and definitely next year. What's the speculation going to be in genomics at that time? I mean, again, this stock alone in 2020 went from $24 a share to $115. What happens if it goes up to 50 or 60 again and you own option contracts that give you 10x the underlying? I'd say that's a 15x. I like it. I don't hate it. Riot 25%? What do you mean Riot 25%? Is it up 25% today? Is it 25% today, or what time frames are we talking about? ARCG is so dependent upon lower interest rate. It's not really. It's not. It's just dependent upon speculation. It's dependent upon the multiple that people want to give to it. All right, let me look here. SBET slightly green now. Cool. Riot 25%. Martin, are you going to roll your January 50, 20, or 226 calls, bro? What are we talking about? What is that for? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, are you talking about, you're probably talking about ARCG? No, but I do have a lot of other calls. Let me just show you real quick. So I've actually lost a shit ton of money on this play for full transparency. This one has sucked. Let me just zoom in. One of my biggest losers, this and CleanSpark. Here, I got to do it manually because for some reason the browser isn't doing it. Whatever. All right, so you could see how the January 2026 50 strike, I think these can still pay out, but so far I'm down 367,000 in them. And then I've got June of 2026. I've lost 170,000 in these for 48 strike. People do not think that this thing can hit $48 by June of 2026. And then I have 2027s that I'm dumping into. I'm up a little bit on that. That's a 40 strike in January of 2027. People do not believe that this thing can go up. I actually think that we've already had the market cycle pattern. As this thing trends along, I'll keep pushing out calls further out. I'll make so much fucking money on this thing. It will come around. There will be speculation. There's only 1 billion in assets in AUM right now. I think there's going to be so much influx. Look at the 200 moving average on the weekly time frame. It's going straight down. Give it a couple more weeks, a couple more months, and this thing will be above, actually probably a month, this thing will be above that 200 moving average. Then people get bullish. Then narratives change. Then people start talking about shit like this. Am I still holding? Yeah, I haven't sold anything. Guys. I tell you guys what I do, right? And then on Discord, guys, on the Discord, which you can find in the pinned post, right? You just look down it, you see my performance and stuff, you see all the referrals, you see the things that we have access to. Don't sign up with a Telegram. I don't even have one. The Discord is there. Only go there. But I lost a ton of money on CleanSpark. Mara, I'm actually up. But CleanSpark, I've still got all my July calls. These are all dust now, right? I guess there's 25s are still in play. Maybe I should start cashing some of that out. Once we get up to 25, if we get up to like 19, 20, as we're climbing here, I probably need to get the fuck out of these or start selling some of them. But whatever, I'll just let them turn to dust. I'll let them turn to dust so other people can get out. This thing was up 1,200% in a day. What the fuck is that, dude? Somebody bet big on July 2025 calls. And I don't. How are you doing? What? Today is literally the 18th. Who did this? So these are going to be dust today. I don't know who bet big on July 2025 calls. But this 70 grand right here, this is all going to zero. Okay, it's all going to zero. This number will just go away. That will increase my loss. But again, I'm in September, I'm in November. I still expect to come net positive and maybe 2x, 3x my money on these in total, minus the loss. But I still own them. I'll just let them go to zero. I don't know who made this bet, though. Whoever did this was insane. This will not happen. They're toast. Say goodbye to your money here. If you drove this thing up 1,200% in a day, ouch. I don't know who did that, but they're fucking insane. Yeah, I got the same pain in Clean Spark. Got new ones ready. Yeah, good. Julian, so we should sell SBET and buy other treasuries. I'm up 220%. Don't want to miss the gains. Dude, it's all dependent upon your perspective. I want to buy some other things. I'm going to keep a huge chunk of my SBET, though. I'm going to keep a huge chunk of it. I've got like $750,000 in SBET right now. Oh, hey, you know what else I promised you guys? I promised you Tom Lee. I don't know if he's got an actual video. Let's look at some stuff, though. And again, this is his content, so I'm not going to do this often. Luckily, I'm only here 3 days a week. So let's look at earnings real quick and see how earnings are doing. Again, this is proprietary content. Please don't share any screenshots of this stuff. It's enough that I'm showing it to you right now. 11% of the S&P is reported. 39 companies are reporting this week. Overall, 85% of them are beating estimates. And those are beating by an average median of 4%. That was 7%, almost 8%, I think, at one point. So it's come down a little bit. Of the 13% missing, they're missing by -3. The top line overall estimates are beating estimates by a median of 2% and missing by -1%. And 81% of those reporting are beating estimates. That's good stuff, right? That's still good stuff. Jesse finally got in early this week. Glad to get the live show. Hey, George. What's up, buddy? This is my buddy. I think we had lunch yesterday, right? I think that's your account. Midwest Cannabis, not yet. I mean, Gemini Knight, I think there are some people dabbling in options that don't understand. Oh, dude, I know. It's so sad. Guys, watch my Options 101 video. Don't just fucking YOLO into shit you don't understand. Loss on crypto. Can we dig deep and find the Tom Lee and Pengu connection? I know there's a bunch of people that are into Pengu, guys. If you look at forward guidance, there's a bunch of people that are into Pengu. And again, if you're into Ethereum right now, I think you're probably into Pengu. Ethereum's going up again, guys. Holy shit. Not only are we seeing Bitcoin getting closer to 128 or 120, but look at this. Ethereum has no chill. This might make it hard for SBET to fall, guys. Look at that. Look at that. That's nuts. That's nuts. Right there. No chill whatsoever. 75,000 lost. You learn fast. Yeah, when you lose money, you learn pretty quickly, right? Anybody who is a part of the Clean Spark fiasco is definitely going like, yeah, I know what pain in options looks like. And again, I gave that a long time frame. I got into those guys 2 years before expiration. So, and then I added to them along the way, and then it just never happened. Just never happened. I didn't know miners weren't going to be the play. I had friends of mine warn me. People are OGs. The guy who used to run Gateway Computers, who was a chief technology officer, he warned me. He's a miner too. I was a miner, but he's a bigger miner than I am. He's in multiple geographic locations. But he warned me that miners are a tough game and that they weren't going to be the lead horse. I just didn't know it was going to be MicroStrategy. I didn't get the math right away. You live and you learn, right? That's why us sourcing thoughts together and learning from each other is very, very important, because I'm not always going to be the best person in the room. Sometimes it's you guys. Gemini Knight, who contributed here a little bit ago in a post, he was the guy who in this chat came up with SBET. We looked at it and we said, fuck yeah, that looks interesting. And we got into it, and then it dropped. And we're like, buy here. And we talked about it and looked at it. And then we went in hard. We went from a starter pack to fuck this. It just dropped 90%. And there's something here. And that's how we made a bunch of money. We learned from each other. That's the brilliance of it, guys. I'm not a silo. I'm just smart enough to know when other people are smarter than me. And I'm really good at finding people that are smarter than me. And that's how you get rich right there. It's figuring out who the kings are and being willing to recognize that somebody is a bigger king than you. That's how you get rich. How excited are you about the new house? Oh, dude, I wish I could show it to you, but I don't. I know people can look it up and find out where it is. And I've already had a weird Facebook stalker one time for anybody who's been around a while, and I just don't want to deal with that shit again. So, we almost made it over $12.95, guys. Maybe Monday we can do that. But so yeah, I'm stoked about the house, but I'm definitely not showing it. I'll show pictures that I do myself once we get it. What's my plan on SQNS? I might add some to it. I got to figure out. I think I'm selling some SBET and I'm getting into other things. And I don't know. Some of that might be SQNS. I'd love to do that in options though. So I got to figure out what else I'm going to sell if I'm going to sell to be able to do that. Yeah. But I want to get into more SQNS calls too. It took me 2 years before I was confident to buy my first call options. Dude, calls are dangerous. Take your time with them, guys. Learn from it. Don't go in big. Don't put your entire account into like clean spark options. Please to God, be smart with your money. Again, I think I do a good job relaying this, but there's always going to be people that miss it. Look at my portfolio allocation. There's a lot of things that are asymmetric. I'm pointed in Solana. If that goes up really good, I make tons of money. I'm pointed in Ethereum multiples. If that goes up, I make a bunch of money. If ARC Genomics goes up, I make a bunch of money. I've got SMCI calls going out to 2027. So if the chip sector does well, I make a bunch of money. I've got a lot of different things pointed in different directions that can make me a lot of money. And again, Tesla's going to be huge in this too. Please don't put everything into some tiny fucking thing that you love yourself to. Don't expose yourself, Jesse. Yeah, I want to stay as private as possible. I don't want everybody knowing my address, and I just don't want to deal with all the bullshit. I got a family that I'd like to be able to just have them relax and chill and enjoy life. I'm probably going to go to the bathroom one more time real quick, though, but I want to do this real fast. We're going to get back over to Mike Johnson because I don't think I let him ever talk. So I'm going to let him talk real quick, and I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds, guys. 1 second.
It's everywhere. It's, leads, it's all, Drudge, it's all over the place with, sirens on Drudge, woo, 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 because someone in 2003, might have drawn a picture of a body letter before the guy even, all the real info hadn't even been out at that point, I don't think, about this guy.
The president and I talked about that ridiculous allegation this morning. He said it's patently absurd. He's never drawn such a picture. He's never thought of drawing such a picture. And he said, did you see the language of this bogus supposed communication or card or something I supposedly sent to Epstein? He said, I don't talk like that. I don't think like that. They're literally making things up. And he's so frustrated by it. And he's going to wind up, I think, suing some of the media outlets that had put all this out there because they informed them that it was totally contrived. So, look, the president is the most maligned and attacked political figure in the history of American politics. There's no question about it. But he's also the most resilient. And you see at the same time, his approval ratings are skyrocketing. CNN had a story, I think, a day or two ago. He was at 90% approval rating. There's never been a president that high. So the more that they attack him, the more the American people see through it.
What could...
Don't show any pics. I'll show you like a little tiny pic of from a weird angle. I'll try and be good at it.
Be released, and why wasn't it? How do you... I don't know whether you have no more information than I do, but what do you think was going on when it looked like something was going to come out? Then, there's nothing to...
We have Doge treasuries. I saw a Litecoin treasury, a Doge treasury. There's only so far down the risk curve I'm willing to go, guys. Or so far up the risk curve. Down, up. Chat, correct me. Which one is it? But there's only so far I'm willing to go through the risk curve. And I just can't deal with it. I'm not doing Doge. I'm not doing a fart coin treasury. I'm not doing a Litecoin treasury. I just got done telling one of my friends, Chris, to get the fuck out of Litecoin. There's no way I'm going to buy a treasury for it. It's so dead. And again, I think Ethereum and Solana are about as deep as I'm willing to go down the shitcoin hole. Peepcoin treasury, right?
Release and from a PR standpoint,
can you guys see though how we're going to get irrational exuberance this cycle? Can you see it? Because we're seeing it right now. But you know what? that we still got Google Trends that have nobody getting excited yet, right? Like we're right here. So imagine what happens when everybody starts to get in. That's how these cycles work. And then we make shit tons of money. But we're excited right now. Other people aren't excited, but they'll be buying Peep Coin Treasury. They'll be buying Fart Coin Treasury, and they'll tell you how it's the next big thing. It's going to change the world. You guys are stupid for being invested in Bitcoin, and it's all about the farts. You'll see all of that, and they'll say it with a straight face because they 100% believe it, and they're 100% allocated with their life savings to it. And just do your part to help people like that and save them. Do your part, but in the end, they'll decide themselves. Yeah, XRP is the same trash, right? And it's going up like crazy, and people love it. They're religiously fanatic about it. They think XRP is the real coin, not Bitcoin. And I don't know how you could feel that way about something where the CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, is constantly dumping shit on you. He's diluting the fuck out of you so that he can run his company, so that he can go to Washington and solicit people to keep them from doing a Bitcoin treasury and have them use XRP as a central bank digital currency to control your life. And some of the people that believe in this are fanatical MAGA people. So it's like, wait a second, what? You don't believe in Bitcoin, but you want Brad Garlinghouse, the fucking CEO, who's like this woke ass bitch who wants a central bank digital currency to control people, and he wants to be in control of it. That's the motherfucker you're putting your money behind? It's insane. It's insane. So just again, help people where you can, please to God. Save people. Save people. They're going to need it. But again, you can only do so much. I've learned that the hard way. RKH77, thank you for coming on. All right, here we go. Unicorn Fart Dust Treasuries. That's going to be fun. That one I might invest in. Ask me, Jesse, with the crypto bills being passed, couldn't this be big for shitcoins? Oh, it's going to be huge for everything, guys. Huge for everything. We haven't even really talked about that. We should. But let's listen to Mike Johnson. Let's listen to him to finish off here.
I don't know. It wasn't great the way it was handled. Is there more to come out? Will it come out?
Are you in favor of it coming out?
I am. Look, I've been on record repeatedly. I've never seen all of the Epstein files. It's outside my lane. I mean, I'm running the House. This is over at DOJ. But what I believe in is maximum transparency, and so does President Trump, and that's what he said. He says it many different ways, many different times, but we want all credible evidence to be put out there for the American people. Reagan used to remind us to trust the American people. They're smarter than anybody gives them credit for, and I believe people can draw their own conclusions about that, but they have to have the documents. Now, at the same time, I think the interest here and the concern and frankly the duty, the responsibility is to protect the innocent, right? So if you have minors who are victims of sex trafficking, heaven forbid, child predators.
Sorry, we're going down this path. I don't know. I'll probably jump out here. I do think, hey guys, release the Epstein files. If you didn't fuck any children on Epstein's island, we should be good. And if you did, you should be in fucking prison. I don't care who you are. I get the power dynamic maybe over the short term of using it for political persuasion. But honestly, I just think that people that have been affected by this deserve the ability to be able to have these people arrested and put in prison for the rest of their lives for fucking little kids on this island and doing this so blatantly, just like P. Diddy and all that bullshit. Uh-oh, where'd my stuff go? My screen just went away for a second. Hopefully you guys are still here. All right, I guess you're still here. All right, EC, $10. Tom Lee said one of the reasons he chose ETH is because 50% of stablecoin transactions are done on ETH network. Not sure how you quantify the value of that, though. There's a lot of ways to quantify the value of it. Again, I think one of the things that I was telling you guys about ultrasound money, the fact that people getting on here and using the Ethereum network and it will increase the burn rate and make it to where it's got a negative inflation rate. The ETH is not ultrasound money, just to be clear. If you've looked at Vitalik, you know that there's some weird ass shit going on with the guy who created this. But at the same time, the math on this can get very exciting. So you have that. You have Arbitrum doing a layer 2 on Ethereum. or I'm sorry, you have Vlad Teniv from Robinhood doing a layer 2 on Ethereum. There's enough of a narrative alone to drive this thing through the roof. P. Diddy got off the hook, and now Epstein evidently killed himself for something that didn't happen, and Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for something that didn't happen. It's very strange. Let's get to the truth of it. It's bullshit. And Trump, if you were diddling kids, you deserve to be in prison too. I really don't give a fuck. And maybe that's what we're waiting for. We'll put him in prison after his presidency's over. Right now he's doing pretty good on the economy, so maybe that one can wait. But I do think we need justice in the end, and it's another sign to me that we need the America Party. And I haven't been like a big third party kind of guy. I'm going to move my ass and titties back over here. I'm going to move my Sequoians. Again, I think I want to buy some of that this morning. I'll let you guys know when I do. And then I think BMNR, again, bottoming pattern on their technical pattern. I'm excited about that too. Probably want to buy some of that. Probably want to buy some game, SQNS, BMNR. These are all things that I'm going to be looking at purchasing today. SBET could be taking a breather. Again, guys, don't complain about SBET taking a breather when it went up 353% from the bottom on June 23rd, less than a month ago. Okay? If it takes a breather, just deal with it. It's going to come back. And it's okay. It's okay for it to take a breather. It's okay for you to, if you want to shorter term, move it into one of these other plays. That's okay too. Can we look at the game chart? Yeah, we can. I looked at it briefly earlier, and I think it's great. Again, look at the volume, guys, and we're not going to go all the way back to 2011 when Silas's brother had bought some and held on to it because he loved his bag. But we are going to look at this, right? Like we're going to look at the fact that on June 24th, this thing was trading for 69 cents, and then it went up to $2.86. And so for it to retrace where it is right now and have massive volume shelf sitting underneath of it is freaking beautiful. It's beautiful. And, you sold Sequoians for BMNR. Oh, that's probably not bad, though. It depends on when you sold it. If you sold it when Sequoians was at $10, or what is it, $6, or five and change, and bought some BMNR, that actually probably would have been a really good deal. But just remember that I think BMNR is great. It's bigger cap. Sequoians is only 75 million, so it's a much smaller cap, dude. But I think Games is going to do good. I think Sequoians can do good. And guys, remember, if you're trading and you're in the United States and you're trading an account that's not an IRA, there's tax obligations. So please to God, think about the tax obligations of what you're getting yourself into. Just please do that. Quick question, bro. All the stocks you posted on X, like Hogpiff, Liquid, Matif. I don't own any Matif, but I have posted about it. Metaplanet. PC, APU, I don't own any of that. Similar, I don't own any of that. I've left all those companies a long time ago. They've all been bleeding since we got in. Okay, well, pay attention to the trades. I post all of them in Discord. You literally have the entire history of what I've been doing inside of this. And also you can see where my portfolio is as of 5 days ago. And you'll know what I'm in and what I'm not in. Sometimes we get in, and if I get into a starter pack with something where it makes up like 0.3% of my portfolio and you full port, I'm sorry if that happens. I'm sorry if you lose money on that. But pay attention to the allocation size of what I'm doing too. It's probably pretty important. Now, the stuff in that list, Metaplanet's going to do great. Liquid and Hog PF, those are still like starter packs for me. I own virtually none of it. I've just been stacking. So again, it's just like you got to pay attention not just to the stuff we talk about, but what I'm doing with it and what my allocations are to it. If something is less than 1% of my portfolio, I probably don't have that much conviction, right? We can probably agree on that. Even if it's 2%, I might not have that much conviction. Even 3%, it could grow from going up. It doesn't mean that I have a huge amount. Now Gemini is pulling up on my phone for some fucking reason. Isn't AI great? C-List, I made bank on SQNS in 2011 myself. I just sold after it tripled or so. Cool. Awesome. Bitcoin Standard, Adam, where can I buy? I'm sorry, Bitcoin Standard, Adam, where can I buy? What do you mean by that? Sorry. BGZ, we are going to have losses in some investments, guys. Manage your downside risk. Exactly. And here's the great thing is I think a lot of those are going to do really well. But when I do a starter pack, I'm doing it to keep track of them and see where they're headed, right? And if they don't do anything and they just sit there and they don't buy more Bitcoin. If they're like a GameStop where they're like, guys, we're not going to call our shots and blah, blah, blah. Not that I've ever owned that stock. I never have. But if they do stuff like that, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. If they're not serious about what they're doing, if they're not all in about what they're doing. And somebody asked about an ETF where they're like invested in SpaceX and another thing and maybe some crypto and maybe a Bitcoin and yada, yada, yada. I think that's muddy waters. I don't like that. I like pure plays as much as possible. I got out of Sol Strategies because it wasn't Solana Strategies anymore. They were buying other shitcos. And it just muddies the waters and makes things confusing, and people don't like confusing. 1 minute to ding, ding, ding. Okay. All right. Let's get to that real quick, guys. We will go live. And I'm going to make some trades here soon. So I'm going to be working on that too. So give me a sec here, guys. I might sell a couple of things and buy a couple of things. So we'll let this come up. And I will let you know once I get confirmations on what I've done. And you guys should be able to kind of figure out what I'm doing, right? And then I'll tell you when I do it. Because I've kind of made it clear, I feel like. I've made it clear.
Opening bell and the CNBC real-time exchange this morning at the big board. It's the New York City Emergency Management Department and at the NASDAQ FinWise Bancorp marking its addition to the U.S. small cap Russell 2000 index as we're going to open with some fresh intraday highs at 63.13. Watching the impact as we came out of yesterday with a nice head of steam.
I mean, this is the market that doesn't quit. What's on top today, though, which is different, is energy, which is up 1% today. Why? Well, you just heard our interview. Chevron is up 2.6%.
Added BMNR.
Now that they got the green light from arbitration to go ahead buying Hess, $55 billion deal that was first announced almost 2 years ago. Biggest mover is Hess. Of course, that is what they are acquiring. Mike Wirth, the CEO of Chevron, just telling us all systems go on that front. They're excited about the synergies, although he did say that there would be some job cuts as they combine, in terms of overlap, combiing these two
1 sec here, guys.
large companies. But it is giving a nice lift to energy, and a number of the stocks actually are up. Diamondback, Marathon Petroleum. That energy has been the biggest loser on the week. A week that was, again, dominated in part by technology and some big earnings in the cyclical space.
Indeed. Nice to see starts come in with a nice surprise as opposed to some of their recent historic misses, and that did give yields a little bit of room to breathe as the 30-year once again got south of 5.
Right, so we're watching it. They've kind of been in a range, though, Treasury yields, when it comes down to it. I mean, we haven't really broken out of the range. We're watching the 30-year around that 5% level, obviously, and the 10-year, there's the 10-year 442. That's the one that's been a little bit more range-bound. It hasn't really disrupted the market, although we did have one down day this week on the back of firmer yields when we saw within that CPI report some evidence of tariff-induced inflation in some of the goods areas like furnishing, but overall hasn't filtered through into the overall numbers. On the Fed,
1 second,
Carl,
still making some trades.
I thought it was interesting that Fed Chair Powell responded in the form of a public letter to the OMB director on the building renovation, which is causing so much drama in Washington, D.C. The Fed Chair taking on directly some of the questions and the criticisms from the members of the administration on the cost
Tell you guys
overruns.
what I did here in a second.
He responded, basically said, the reason that not all of it had been submitted necessarily to the authorities is because there were some changes that were done, and so they didn't feel the need to do that. But basically, the point is we have taken great care to ensure the project is carefully overseen since it was first approved by the board.
All right, so I just bought $250,000. Here, let me pause. I bought $250,000 in BMNR after selling $350,000 in SBET. So I lowered my SBET position significantly, cut about 40% of it. And I bought that large chunk of BMNR. I bought another 20 or 30,000 in game 2. And then I'm going to be looking at Sequoians as well. I might buy some of that in my other account and leave a little bit of cash in this one. We'll see. We shall see. I might, maybe I'll get Sequoians in here. Let me see. Oh, I can get Sequoians in here. I might do that. Give me a second here. Looks like this one. Oh, no, this is not supported on Robinhood. Okay, so I can't get that one. So that ain't going to happen. Let me see if there's anything else of interest right now. So again, I have diversified a little bit, guys, into BMNR, and hold still a massive chunk in SBET. But now I feel better with my balance. And why did we do that? We did that because of the technicals on the chart of BMNR versus SBET, right? They look good. They look good, and I like good. I don't hate good. Jesse like good. Let's see here. How much else do we have? Maybe another 30. Oh, do 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 do. All right, so I bought another 20,000 in BM or in game. Again, this is kind of a YOLO play for me, but it's a pretty heavy YOLO play because I've got like, is it 3%, 2% allocation to it maybe right now. So it's a pretty big YOLO. Jesse trying naughty stocks. Yes, sir. Love the naughty stocks. Give me the naughty stocks. Let me see here. Upexi is up 7%, 8% in pre-market. DFDV is up 3%. Solt is up 9%. TSWCF is up 1.7% today, guys. Metaplanet is down 2.35%, so it's taken a hit. I think people are just moving down the risk profile a little bit, and I get it. I might do a little bit of that too myself. I need to get more cash, so I might end up liquidating a little bit of my Metaplanet, maybe a decent chunk, just to be able to get some money down from my deposit of my house. Game or SQ&S options, if it's 3%. I didn't look at options on game, so I can't tell you. You'll need to look at the options contract for that, guys. There's only so much I can do, and I just don't know on that one. All right, let me see here. Let's see what we got. 1 second. All right, if it's MY play, know which one are you picking? What do you mean? Oh, I don't know about the option. Jesse, what are your thoughts on BTC? What do you mean by picking? What are you picking? Jesse goes when he goes, and I don't know what you mean by picking. Is also SEPO and atom-backed treasury? SEP is. Are you talking about? I thought, no, SEP is Cantor Fitzgerald. There's another atom-back. Atom-back is getting into a bunch of stuff, dude. I don't even know what all he's doing nowadays. So I couldn't tell you. It's a lot. He's doing a lot. He's definitely getting in it. Asepo is the new one. Okay, that's the new ticker. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Jesse, what are your thoughts on BTCS? I don't even remember what that is. Can you tell me? There's so many Bitcoin treasuries spinning up, guys. I'm not going to be able to track and invest in all of them. I'm just not going to be able to. It's going to be too hard. You know what I mean? There's just too much. It's too much to keep track of. I can't keep track of just like numerous, endless amounts of shit. It's too much. I'm still waiting for CCCM to do something too. The chart looks great, but Anthony Pompliano needs to get it to where they're buying some Bitcoin. I do think that time is coming, but I don't know. It's a 357 million market cap. I don't know. It could do really well. What does CCCM have for Bitcoin holdings right now? Are they on the list? Like, they're pretty high up, aren't they? Let me see. Control F, CCCM. Yeah, they're already 13, dude. They've got 5,000 BTC, and they're sitting at a 357 million cap. I feel like that one is cheap, and that I should buy more CCCM too. Might do that right now. Let's see, in dollars. Maybe I'll just do like 15, maybe 20, 25, 25. Yeah, maybe I'll do 25. I feel like that one's cheap. I'm just waiting for them to do something. You know what I mean? Just do something, guys. I think I set that one up 0.1% by buying it. That's funny. 118,707 right now. We're looking at Smarter Web Company's up 3.63% today, guys. What the actual figgity fuck? What the figgity fuck? That's amazing. I probably should I'm making an offer here. I should sell more. I don't want to do this. But I need to do it. I need to get I'm going to sell some more Metaplanet. I don't want to fucking do it. I don't want to do it, guys, but I have to get money for my house anyway, and it would just be nice to be locked in. I'll probably regret it. All right, so now I have all my down payment for my house. I've sold a big chunk of Metaplanet. I'm going to be posting in a second. I think I'm going to sign off here, guys. So I've sold a big chunk. I've got my deposit now for my Metaplanet. I sold a total of like 28,000 shares. I'm down to like 400,000 on Metaplanet. I hate doing it because I do love the stock. I love Dylan LeClaire. I love all these guys. Maybe I'll regret it later on. I'll try and get more back into it in a little bit here after some of these smaller treasuries take off. But SBET's up 0.55 right now, guys. That's pretty good. BMNRs came down just a little bit. It's only up 10 now. Let's look over here at Game. Game is up 6.22. So again, it's doing all right. It's hovering above this peak volume. We'll see if it can hold it. It looks good, though. I bought a little more this morning. And then CCCM, I already told you about that one. I just think it's stupid cheap at 356 million market cap. I don't know if there's anything weird, though, with... does anybody know? No, Jesse, please share the Tom Lee video. Oh, I don't. He didn't have one. I don't think he had one, bro. The economy is not La Booba. I don't know what that is, Hardiga. I gave you this. Here, what does Sean say? Maybe Sean has a video. I don't think, let's see if Funstrat has a video. I don't think he had a video. July, this is Thursday night. Maybe he did. Let me see. Oh no, it's just a bunch of tech stuff. Nothing too interesting. Coincilium up today. Maybe finally start out more. Oh, I was going to buy more of that. Yeah, so the only thing that's probably interesting here is this text, or is this a video? Yeah, there are no videos right now. There were none. La Booba is a new Chinese toy with teeth. Jesus Christ. Okay, whatever. That's insane. But okay. But yeah, guys, I think there's some exciting times ahead. I've got enough cash right now to put down the deposit for my house. I feel bad taking it from Metaplanet. Oh, I hope I don't regret it. But I've still got 300,000 in Metaplanet. But I took it from Metaplanet, and I got to do something, right? And all the other things are going up. UPXI is up 85% since I bought it now. I only have 70 or 80 something thousand in it. I wish I only put 40 in. I wish I would have or 45 in. I wish I would have got more of that. That was just a starter pack. It's turning into 2 starter packs now. I got to get my house, dude. We bought our existing house like 20 fucking years ago or some shit. Something like that. And for 102,000, I think I deserve an upgrade. I've waited a long time, man. I waited until I got to $6 million. I feel like that's enough time to take the leap finally. You won't regret it when you're relaxing. And oh, dude, and I'm gonna build a home or a pool in the backyard. The backyard's huge. I want a pool and a pool house. We're gonna blow out the dining room part. It's so cool, guys. It's so cool. Ticket BSTR will go public. Adam Beck backed. That's the ticker that it's going to go public as. Thanks, Loss on Crypto. Metaplanet is down too much already. Yeah, it's down a lot. But you got to realize this. It's down. It's breaking. Let's look at the chart actually real quick. Let's look at a few charts here, okay? Metaplanet is only down 43%. And why do I say only? Because I think it's important to look at TSWCF, which is up 4.53% on the day, and to think about this. TSWCF was down over that same period of time, 69%. And again, it's smaller. It's going to be more volatile. I do think Metaplanet's going to go up. I think it's just gotten too much shit. But it is hitting the 50 and breaking underneath of it. And there's a daily gap. Here, let me just show some of these. I'm going to draw out some daily gaps here because that's probably smart. Maybe we're just doing this, guys. Maybe we're just doing this and we're going up. That could be it. That could be it. Oh, some of it did fill, but not all of it. Let's show that. There. Maybe that's all we're doing. You know, right there. We got this one already. There's no way we're getting this one. There's no way. We're not going down to $5. No, there's no fucking way. But maybe we go down here and we go to 861. We fill that gap, and then we start going up. Seems possible, right? Feels possible to me, guys. So I feel like that's possible, and that will just improve our numbers to the upside, because then instead of what it was at the beginning of the day, which was 44% upside to hit the next fib, it would be 55. And these numbers get exponential. This one that says 80% right here, I'm sorry, from yesterday's close, 88% upside would turn into 103, and so on, right? Like, so these numbers get better the more it drops. The returns get better. I still think that we're seeing 30s in Metaplanet this cycle. So if that's true, there's still a lot of upside in it. I'm just playing with the fastest horse right now because I think I can get more money and then I'll stack back into it. Can you post the chart in Discord, please? Fuck, I owe you that. I owe you that. At the very least, guys, all the Treasury companies that we've talked about, I'm going to be putting in the Discord this weekend. I'm going to, because I've sucked at it. So, SEPO is the SPAC backer for BSTR. Okay, interesting. We should figure out what the entire relationship is there. When do they turn into... So the SEPO probably isn't the one you want to invest in, right? Adam Back is moving 30,000 BTC into SEPO. Lutnick's son, Cantor Fitzgerald, involved. Oh, so he's got... But what is BSTR then? Is that what it's going to turn into? So SEPO is the large corporation. 30,000 gets moved into BSTR. Is that right? Or are they two different things? I haven't been following this one as much, so you guys got to tell me. Same as XXI and SEP. Okay. So XXI will be the ticker for SEP, and then BSTR will be the ticker for SEPOs. Is that what I'm hearing? So XXI and BSTR are going to be the things that you want to be in. Is that right? Why didn't I borrow? Why didn't I borrow instead of selling stock? I am going to borrow. I'm borrowing in a loan, right? This is just a down payment. And you got to realize I've been holding on to this stuff for a long ass time. I went from borrowing is great. I will be doing borrowing. I'll probably be doing 0% offers on credit cards for 18 to 21 months to pay for the furniture and a lot of other stuff. But you got to realize I've went from this to right around here right now. And it's time to have some fun. It's a small amount of a tax obligation. It's not a big deal. I deserve it, so I'm doing it. And one can only borrow so much in the way of debt. I'm keeping my old home, too, for my parents. So there's just a lot of things going on. Yeah, I'm getting a mortgage. Exactly. MB, are you sure? I think SEPO is. Yeah, you guys let me know. I'll try and figure that out, too. I don't know the relationship and all that stuff, but if you guys can figure it out. Smarter Web Company's up 3.63 still percent today, guys. I'm loving that. I'm making some money on that, and then I sold some on the Metaplanet, but that could be the bottom too. It could be the bottom. I don't think it. I just need the money. I needed the money, so that's the game I'm playing. And we'll see if game ends up turning into anything. I've definitely got a decent chunk in it, so I hope it does. As a super small cap, and I bought more of this CCCM today because again, it's a low cap. And these guys are already on, what are they on? They're in 13th place, guys. I feel like they're being incredibly undervalued for being 13th place at 355 million market cap. BTCS is up 88%. That's always happening. That happened with all these others. But the danger is that you jump into them and then they drop. So, again, that's just always a concern. Silas, Jesse is the practical house dude we both learned from GFC. Yeah, exactly, right? My house was $102,000 for the last 20 years. That's what I bought, and even getting to 6.95 million a little bit earlier in the year, I still didn't buy a new house, and I'm finally doing it now because I think the time is right. So I'd rather be prudent. And I started off with ambitions of up to $3 million for the home, and now I'm down to 1.1 is probably what I'm going to, or 1 to 1.1 is what I'm going to settle at. But it's a beautiful place. All right. I think I'm done, guys. I think I'm done. I'm gonna get out because I gotta exercise. I got a lot of shit to do. I gotta post my trades too. So I love you guys. I will see you soon enough. Yeah, my parents are happy. My dad's already working on this existing house because he's just excited, I think. And he deserves it because, again, I posted this before. It was a shitty loan rate. It's 7%. So it's not a great one, but the rates aren't that great right now, and I'm not buying points. I don't want to give extra money now for a lower interest rate. I think rates are going to be lower in the future. So it's not that great, but I'm going to probably have the seller pay my closing costs. So it's pretty good in the end. But yeah, my dad deserves massive credit, and I posted this before. I'll probably post it on Father's Day, every Father's Day, because he got me interested in investing around the .com crash, a little bit before it. And then again, I got interested in it before the great financial crisis, and I felt a lot of pain then. And then he got me interested in it with Ethereum in March of 2017. And that has forever changed my life. Every time he got me interested in it again, I learned new stuff. And it changed my life. It literally changed my life, and now it's changing his life, and it's changing everybody's life that's around me. And I'm grateful for it. And if I never would have had that direction, when I lost my last job, or I should say like 4 or 5, no, I guess it's probably 9 years ago now, I was thinking about becoming a postman. And because of my dad, I started down this weird Ethereum path. And then I got a different job doing the thing I did just because I was good at it, even though I hated it. Or at least people had the perception I was. And then I got into investing because of my dad, and it just changed the direction of my life. I could be delivering your fucking mail. That could have been my life. So that's why I always encourage people, like, you have to think about the things you love and the direction you want to go down, and you got to take some risk, man. Because if I didn't take any risk, I would be dropping off your mail right now. And instead, I'm buying $1 million home that's beautiful, and I'm going to add a pool in it, and I'm retiring people. I've retired so many people. I own 5 Teslas. I only use one of them. My wife has another one. And I'm taking care of everybody I love, and it's because I was willing to take risks. So again, calculated risk and giving yourself time to figure out who you are is so fucking important in life. And I'd be incredibly disappointed and probably suicidal right now if that had been my path. Just knowing in my gut that there's something special about me and not knowing what it was for so long. Yeah. All right. I think that's it. I love you guys. And I will see you on Monday, and I hope you have a great weekend and live your life to the fullest. Peace out, guys.